Hi, everybody. It's AJ Bernard again, and I'm the pastor at Spring Grove and Center United Methodist Churches near Washington Courthouse in Ohio. Um, and I'm doing some teaching on Genesis, and um, really I think I've sort of said everything in Genesis 3 that I want to say. So I was trying to figure out where to go next, and I um, thought going on to Genesis 4 would make sense, right? But why did I start in Genesis 3? I'm not sure. So let's skip back a bit. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1. And we're going to look at, two verses. Two verses. Genesis chapter 1 is, of course, the creation event. This is the time when God creates the heavens and the earth and everything that's in it. And it's got this beautiful poetry. Berashit bara Elohim et hashemayim ve'et haaretz. Ve'haaretz hayeta tohu vavohu ve'hoshech al pene tehom. Ve'ruach Elohim merahefet al pene hamayim. That's Genesis verses 1 and 2. And it's beautiful. In the third verse, I can't stop with two. Third verse is Vayomer Elohim Yahi Or Vayahi Or. Here, let me just go ahead and show this to you since we're already here. Pulling up my Lexham Hebrew Bible, and let's go ahead and make the text a little bit bigger here so that you can just, not that most of you will be able to read it, but it's just beautiful stuff. Berashit bara Elohim et hashemayim ve'et haaretz. Anyway, okay, enough playing around. So let's read Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 and 27. And these two verses are the foundation for all of human dignity. If you've ever asked why people are important, why every single person is important, it stems from this spot right here. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26 says, "Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. We like to talk about, we as Americans especially, like to talk about how all men are created equal. And about how each person has has these inalienable rights granted to them by their creator. But throughout human history, we have had times and places, even here in the United States, but certainly other places as well. In other places, it still goes on, sadly, where people were separated for one reason or another, for political ideologies, or for skin color, or for ethnic nationality, or whatever. And one set of peoples was called better, and one set of peoples was called worse. It's an idea that we fight against in the United States. It's an idea that is very. I mean, we've been fighting it for a very long time here in the States. But why? why fight it? Why not give in and say one set of people is worse than another? Because of this verse right here. Because everyone, every single human being you ever meet, and every single human being you have never met, was created in the image of God. Every single human being, born or unborn, rich or poor, housed or homeless, black, white, red, green, purple, yellow, whatever, they are all made in the image of God. Think about that for a minute. The image of God. And what is God? God is the supreme being. God is the absolute most important thing that will ever be or could ever be or ever has been or ever will be. Nothing is greater than God. And God lends a portion of his greatness to each and every human being, because each and every human being is created in the image of God. It's a very powerful image. It's a very powerful concept that people are worth. People have this eternal, inherent dignity. Even criminals, even the ill and the handicapped, that all people are of eternal, sacred value. That idea just inspires me. It inspires me to go out and love people that I don't want to love. It inspires me to go out and do good to people that I just don't want to do good to. It inspires me to be the kind of person that God has called me to be. Because if I'm going to love God, then I must love my neighbor. Everybody knows the passage, of course. Let me pause the video and dig it up real quick. Here it is. One of the scribes came up and heard them disputing with one another, and seeing that he answered them all, speaking of Jesus, answering all of those who asked him questions, the scribe asked him, "Which commandment is the most important of all?" Which commandment is the most important of all? Jesus answered, "The most important is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. And the second commandment is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." Why is loving your neighbor like loving God? Because your neighbor was created in God's image. If you fail to love God, then you have failed to love your neighbor. And if you fail to love your neighbor, my friends, you have failed to love God. And that's the beautiful part of Christianity. I hope that blesses you. God bless.